20th of November 2023. Welcome to Somalia's premier #1 station for news and updates, Dalsan TV. I'm your presenter, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Tonight, these are the stories that are making our headlines. Somalia to co-host the Global Food Security Summit with the UK. Somali Prime Minister visits flood-ridden Gedo region. Efforts hush to unlock the current political and electoral crisis in Puntland State. Somali government holds meeting to deliberate on the implementation of the recent NCC outcome. Glad to have you back. Now let's delve into our full bulletin. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is in London to co-host the Global Food Security Summit with the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the United Arab Emirates and the Children Investment Foundation. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is in London to co-host the Global Food Security Summit with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the United Arab Emirates and the Children Investment Foundation. The conference, which is set for Monday in London, will include representatives from government, humanitarian organizations, scientists working on international projects, and specialists in food and climate change. The summit will include a number of sessions centered around climate resilient farming, creative agricultural methods, international collaboration in resource distribution, and aiding nations such as Somalia, which due to social, political, geographical circumstances are at the forefront of fight for food security. The United Nations report that most recent analysis shows between April and June 2023, about 6.6 million people in Somalia were acutely food insecure. The Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office said up to £100 million in humanitarian aid is being made available to nations affected by climate-related weather events like Malawi, as well as those most severely hit by food insecurity, such as Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Afghanistan. Somalia's National Disaster Agency reported that floods brought on by intense rains that started in early October killed 50 people and forced over 500,000 people to flee their homes. According to the disaster agency, the intense rains also caused flash floods and landslides in other parts of the country, resulting in destruction of livestock and crops. Somalia Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre has on Monday arrived in Dolo Town, Gedo region in Jubaland State to assess the humanitarian situation in the area, following heavy rainfall and floods that have wreaked havoc in the town.
Somalia Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre has on Monday arrived in Dolo Town, Gedo region in Jubaland State, to assess the humanitarian situation in the area following heavy rainfall and floods that have wreaked havoc in the town. Upon his arrival, the Prime Minister was warmly received by the Deputy President of Jubaland, Mohammed Sayyid Aden, local authorities, and community members severely affected by the flood. Locals in the town have mostly abandoned their homes and moved to the neighboring country, Ethiopia, and other parts of Somalia after floods submerged their houses. Prime Minister Hamza was briefed about the current situation in the town, and his visit is seen as a coordinated effort by the federal government and humanitarian agencies to help the people ravaged by the ongoing El Nino flash floods. Bardere, Luq and Burdoba towns in Gedo region are among the areas which have been adversely affected by the floods. Dolo town in Gedo region, like most parts of the country, has been severely impacted by the long drought spell, which claimed the lives of many people.
Efforts are underway to peacefully resolve the current political and electoral standoff in Puntland State. Traditional elders drawn from the SSC Khartoum are expected to arrive in Garowe town in the coming days to midwife the process and find an amicable solution to the ongoing crisis in the regional state.
Efforts are underway to peacefully resolve the current political and electoral standoff in Puntland State. Traditional elders drawn from SSC Khartoum are expected to arrive in Garowe town in the coming days to mediate a process of finding an amicable situation to the ongoing crisis in the regional state. President Saeed Abdullahi Deni and opposition candidates have continued to hold their hardline stances, which, if not resolved soon, could plunge the region into anarchy and chaos. On the other hand, the region's parliament called off in the 11th hour a sitting scheduled on Monday to debate a constitutional amendment to the electoral laws. A memo sent to the members of the parliament stipulated that the debate was postponed for 3 days, owing to the volatile security situation in the capital, Garowe. On Sunday, several families fled their homes following build-up of heavy military and forces allied to the opposition in strategic areas in the town. The residents said that they are fleeing their homes for fear of clashes between the two opposing factions. Established in 1998 as a semi-autonomous region in the northeast of Somalia, Puntland has managed to maintain relative peace and stability since the outbreak of the Somali civil war in 1991. Renowned for its oil-rich resources, the region has developed its own constitution, and on May, held first direct elections in 54 years.
In a significant step aimed at implementing the resolution of the National Consultative Council meeting in May this year, Somali federal government on Sunday said to discuss the endorsement of the outcome of the NCC conference in the capital of Mogadishu.
In a significant step aimed at implementing the resolution of the National Consultative Council meeting in May this year, Somalia federal government on Sunday discussed the endorsement of the outcome of the NCC conference in the capital Mogadishu. The meeting, which was entered its second day, today brought together representatives from various levels of government, political parties, and civil society, and deliberated on the pros and cons of the implementation of the resolution. The electoral process and the governance structure of the Horn of Africa nation reeling from decades of civil war were top on the agenda as enshrined in the outcome of the meeting. Somali political leaders, including current and former, agreed to reshape the country's political system in high-level talks that happened at the Kali Hotel in Mogadishu's Aden Abdullah Airport. In the communique, National Consultative Council, which comprises of the federal leaders, including President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, Deputy Prime Minister Salah Jama, Banadri Governor and Mogadishu Mayor Yusuf Madale, and the four regional heads, excluding Puntland State President Said Abdullahi Deni, who boycotted the talks. The council agreed to introduce universal suffrage, elections, and change the country from the current parliamentary system to presidential system of governance. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, who is a proponent of the resolution, has over time passionately pleaded with former Somali leaders to embrace the agreement, albeit heavy criticism from leaders excluding ex-heads of state. The government held a meeting in the city of Mogadishu aimed at discussing the implementation of the electoral process and the governance structure of the Federal Republic of Somalia. As outlined in the agreement, the meeting involved representatives from various levels of the government, political parties, and civil society, all of whom are expected to contribute to shaping the issues related to the upcoming elections. The agreement of the National Consultative Forum includes the establishment of only 2 political parties in the country, and it seeks to change the current parliamentary system in Somalia.
Our esteemed viewers, that's all we are prepared for you tonight from our desk here in Mogadishu. I wish to thank my team for making this news bulletin a success. Are you a lovely viewer wherever you're watching us from? Have yourselves a lovely night.